Unmute microphone. Okay, one more test. Nick, you hear me okay over there?
Yep, sure can. Test, test, test.
Okay, cool. Test it on YouTube. They can hear me. They can hear you. This is take 2 of this stream, so thanks anyone who checks it out. A little different podcast episode today. College Football 25 has been out for about 2 weeks now, and me and Nick are going to play a little head-to-head. We're probably going to get 2 games in is what we're hoping for, and we're really just going to treat this as a podcast with a little better visuals in the background instead of just me and Nick talking. You get to see some gameplay. So we're going to
Yeah,
jump
no
right
one
into
wants to see
this.
our faces out there.
No, I'd much rather watch this game than my face any day, so I don't blame anybody at all for that. So, Nick, thanks for being here,
And I
first off.
second that opinion.
Yes, of course.
Um, oh man, the game is really fun, but this is our first time actually playing any particular game on any console against each other in like 4 years. So we'll see if you did any practice between Madden 20 and now.
Yeah, I think the last time we played against each other was during the pandemic when we did have a Madden online franchise going. I think it was Madden 19, whatever one had Antonio Brown on the cover. That was the last
Yep.
one that we played online, which I think the only other online game I play is like GTA 5, and that was also during the pandemic. So we're going to get into a little San Diego State at UCF, and then after this we will pick some other teams and play, and Nick will be the home team for that game. That seems only fair. But as we get into
Yeah,
this,
better be fair.
I mean, hey,
Yeah,
I'm all
UCF's
about
a little
fair.
higher overall, buddy.
Hey, man,
Yeah.
your school's your school. It is what it is, you know?
Ah, jeez. All right,
But
whatever, man.
but
We're
as we
not
get into
friends
this,
today.
yeah, as we get into this, Nick, it's been about 2 weeks since the game's been out. What has your initial opinions been? What have you gotten into? What game modes have you still yet to explore? Where are you at with this thing?
Oh man, I'm so bummed. I haven't gotten into Ultimate Team yet. I know everyone's been clamoring at Ultimate Team, but all jokes aside, some people actually do kind of like the Ultimate Team stuff. But my big stuff has just been Dynasty, and I'm a giant nerd. But I discovered that for folks that are fans of Nick Wright, he's been in depth on his recruiting stuff. He does exactly what I do, and don't even play any games user. He'll just super sim the games and handle all the recruiting. He's a head coach trying to, bring in guys from the transfer portal and recruiting class and stuff like that. I'm like, hey, I got, someone of my own. I'm not the only weirdo in the country that does that. So that's been my big hustle for a couple
So
weeks
what?
now. Oh, wow.
Oh, he dropped it. Dang. So what team is Nick Wright playing? I gotta ask.
Oh, man. I know Not the Expert, who's another guy I've been watching. He does the recruiting hustle as well. Is doing Middle Tennessee right now.
Okay.
As far as Nick Wright, Syracuse.
Oh, that makes sense, though. Of course, he's a Syracuse guy. So, believe it or not, I have opened Ultimate Team because since I pre-ordered, I got a bunch of random packs, and it kept bugging me to open them. So I'm like, fine, I'll boot it up.
Right
And,
away,
he's
shake
faking
pump,
it.
baby. There we go. Welcome to the pet channel.
Yeah, so I did open it to do all that, but I've done some Road to Glories. I've been through a season as myself as a UCF running back, and then
How is that?
So the first year was hell. I did not get on the field at all because I was a 3-star, the contributor archetype, which, if you enjoy the grind of practices and stuff, then it's for you. But otherwise, I would go with a 4 or 5-star, and then you'll be on the field in a handful of games. So I played an entire redshirt year, never touched the field. By the time the second season rolled around, I was second string, and then by the end of the season, I was a starter, and we went on a run and won the championship and all that. So that if you enjoy the grind, be a 3-star or even a 2-star if you dare. But if you want more of the, we'll call it NCAA 14 experience, go with a 4-star. It just gives you a better chance to get on the field. You're still like a 70-something, so it's not like you start as a 99 or anything. And then I've made a quarterback. I am Vince Howard from the Friday Night Lights series. There's that pick I dropped
nice
earlier.
job.
So I'm Vince Howard as a quarterback. I played my freshman year at Marshall, and then as people that watch that show know, it's a Texas high school. So I brought him back to Texas, and I transferred to SMU. That's where I am with that. And then I've also started a Temple dynasty. which took me forever to get the head coach job available because I wanted to start as a coordinator like we used to, but that is a much harder road than it ever used to be. So it took me 18 years of simming and recruiting. I started at Syracuse. I think I was Wisconsin. I was App State. The Temple job finally was available and offered me. So I'm like 3 years into that. I like to I go a little bit farther, whereas Nick sims all the games. I like to play the moments because games last maybe like 10, 15 minutes that way, where you just play like big third downs or like, at the end of games or something. So that's kind of a sweet spot. So if you get a chance, Nick, I would maybe give that a try just so you get a little bit of playing time, I guess.
Right.
But overall, man, this has been. I think I'm zeroing in on like 50 hours on this game already. I had 17 hours in the early access period, which there's some people that are going to call that rookie numbers, and there's some people that just say I should go touch grass. So, it just depends who you talk to.
Yeah, not the expert. It's been fun watching his stuff too. His road to glory at some point, Karen was calling him out for his. There we go. 1.3 GPA. How was your GPA in Road to Glory?
I don't study nearly as much as I probably should be, but, I never really get in danger of it. I throw some points at it every week, every other week, something like that, and it'll tell me that I have, D's and F's, but then I look at my GPA and it's like a 3.0. So somebody's lying. Either they're lying about my GPA or my advisor is just full of shit. One of the two.
Wow.
I thought I was gonna get it right back there.
Yeah.
So let's say this. No matter what happens this year, let's hope both our teams perform better than we're performing with them right now.
Yeah. Our quarterback play, I know San Diego State's is. I couldn't say for UCF, but throwing as many passes to our guys as their guys, I wouldn't expect that out of us this year.
Well, it's hard to tell for us, as this will be our first time seeing KJ Jefferson, the senior transfer from Arkansas. So I'm very excited to see him play this year. But I have not seen him in a Knights uniform yet. Definitely looking forward to that, as we're about 3 weeks away from week 0 as we play this year. So we were so worried about the game coming out that the start of the actual season kind of crept up on us a little bit.
Sure did. It's getting scary. I did find that they have the Aztec roster maybe 90-95% accurate. There is a guy that was transferred in from San Diego State who is the active leader in rushing yards in the FBS, number 1. And he's, as far as I can tell, either not on the roster or at a different position or something. So I find that curious. Maybe he was either a late transfer or one of the guys that didn't sign an NIL. But nonetheless, that was pretty much the only player I found who was not in the right place. Everybody else, it's I remember seeing these guys, and they look just like the video game, which is so cool.
Yeah, there is expected a update probably right around the start of the season, so I could see guys that maybe signed in late or just for whatever reason didn't make the initial roster. I think there's a chance that guys like that could still show up.
For sure. Being on the road, man, even UCF, it's shaking pretty good, man. It is hard to concentrate. And they just need to copy and paste in the Madden, really. The field goal kicking and the crowd stadium pulse, that stuff just adds so much more vibe to the game.
So I'm willing to admit the field goal kicking has kind of been kicking my ass a little bit. So I don't know how other people feel about it. Not great for me. But Nick, YouTube loves negativity, so let's turn this around a little bit. It might just be. Is there anything in this game so far that you straight up don't like? What have you said? What has been your least like? Like I said, I could say that about field goals, but that could just be me. Maybe I just need to be better. So what is there anything in this game? Is there anything in this game that you straight up don't like? You think they missed the mark on? This is our time to be critical now. What do you think they didn't do well?
Honestly, I feel weird because I had talked about, I've only been diving into recruiting. I think maybe we could do a part 2 of this podcast, so I can beat you again. No, but I felt like they kind of missed the ball a little on recruiting. because some elements of 14 I felt were more convenient, where like I'm going through a lot of menus to figure out just like the base ratings of guys, when I think it'd be better if you kind of like you scout them enough, you know, okay, this guy's a 78 overall or something. Sure. A little chop in the end zone. I like it. Nice. Or whatever that is.
So anything that I have is going to be pretty nitpicky, because you asked me like 2 days in, like if I had to give this a rating, and I easily gave it like an 8 to an 8.5 out of 10. And it's important to note, and I have to remind myself on this sometimes, like people are looking at this game like it has to last us another 10 years, when in reality, we got another one coming next year. So this game is really like the foundation of what we're going to get. Oh, I fumbled.
Here we go.
Where is it at? There. Okay, we got it. Okay, not a good start, but here we go. So people need to remember that this is just the foundation of what we're going to have moving forward. So when I look at this game, I look at the foundation of something, and I don't think we could ask for a better foundation, really. So I have almost only good things to say about this. If I had to really pick something, the one thing that I really loved about 14 and even like older games where you kind of had your like own trophy room or whatever, the accomplishments that you get in this game, they just kind of tell you like, hey, you got this, good for you, and then they go into a void. I do hope we get a trophy case back in the future, because it gives you a reason to play as different teams, or as a Road to Glory player, like commit to a different team. So, you know, I got to win the Sun Belt too. I have to win this, that, and the other. Otherwise, you might as well just only play as your favorite team. It gives you another reason to play as other teams, as Xavier Townsend turns on the burners and gets in the end zone.
Man, I'm eating a little bit of dust on that one. I figured we'd be able to catch him. Brutal. Just brutal. Yeah, the play style is really fun. I'd mentioned when we did a little practice podcast as we were trying as boomers, I guess, trying to figure out how to record audio. The players move faster, and they move more like their weight and their skill. I don't feel like I can juice the juke or spin move. Like there's one you can make and that's it. Otherwise, you're getting no speed or momentum. You kind of have to like turn the corner instead of just cut the corner. And I love it. It just feels more realistic all the way around. The lighting feels good. The ambience is really good, fun. Another minor nitpick is that I do hear the same couple of statements from Reese Davis doing San Diego State games. It's the same, no better place than San Diego. It would have been nice to get like a secondary introduction and secondary camera angles and stuff. It'd be fun to see maybe one or two pregame stats to kind of get an idea. Okay, here's who's playing well this year, who's not, instead of just, impact players. And maybe it doesn't matter if I'm going to keep throwing picks. Doesn't matter who's good on the other side. But I do feel like maybe they could add a little extra of that. But like you said, the foundation is there.
Yeah, I mean, like in my Temple Dynasty that I'm doing, right? Like it's the same thing. Every intro is like, from the home of the 2017 Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, the Temple Owls play, whatever. So, like, that's cool when you hear it, but I think when you play as the same team for seasons and seasons, like, no matter what they do, it's gonna, even if there's two or three of them, it's gonna seem a little old. So, but like, I think it's a fair point for sure.
Yeah, and playing as a mid-major, it's like they advertise 3 broadcast teams, but I only hear one. I just hear Reese Davis.
Yeah, it's going to take a couple years for you to get that big boy broadcast crew at your games.
Yikes, maybe that's the problem. Maybe I'm not a top team yet.
Well, that's what it is. Like, the one broadcast crew is only for, like, if you're the game of the week or whatever it is. Touchdown.
Right. Wow. Just a friendly reminder, folks, he's playing at home as UCF, but whatever. Let's go. Nice little warm-up challenge here.
Well, whatever game we play next, you get to be the home team, so it works out.
It sure does.
So, next question. So, do you agree with me on the trophy case aspect of it? I think that's something
for sure
worth having, because it gives you a reason to want to play every little bowl game and stuff, like pre 1-to-1, rendition of what the stadium looks like. How does Snapdragon Stadium look by your standards?
Yeah, you can't really complain about the look at all. It's like they got the stadium rendering down really good. Everything from even just the mascots to kind of the feel of everything, and the attendance too is another good thing. I'd like to think UCF maybe has one empty seat in their stadium,
Right.
but at San Diego State there's a couple, but it feels about right.
For me, the one thing I've noticed playing, like, I did like a year worth at UCF just to like play through the season we're about to have, basically, and like obviously playing in Florida, rain is a factor, and games that were played in the rain had considerably less people, even if like your crowds are good. The rain was a factor, which makes sense because less people go when it's raining. They'll, even if they have tickets, we see that all the time. So that's a nice touch too. But we got a beautiful day for this one here in Orlando.
Sure is. The snow, though, it looks like a complete rendition of Madden from a few years ago. And, Madden's not all bad, but when it comes to the snow, yeah, it is kind of, it feels like a video game, looks like a video game. So that is one area where they, next year's rendition.
Yeah, full disclosure, I don't think I've seen snow yet. I've played at Temple long enough that you think there'd be a snow game, but I have not had one yet. And then before I was Syracuse, and they play in the Dome, so obviously not going to see snow there. That'd be a pretty funny glitch if you still got some snow in the Dome.
Ooh. It's happened before. It's happened. I've seen Cowboy Stadium be rainy. I've seen other stuff.
That's true, yeah.
So it definitely happens. I've been hearing complaints about how recruiting is hard, and trying to become a top 5, top 10 team in the country is hard. And I just find it amazing. The entitlement of you expect Kennesaw State to become Georgia in a year, and I just find that hilarious. But in NCAA 14, right, in 14, it was kind of possible, where you could in like 2 years become a top 5 team.
Yeah, people wanted recruiting to be really challenging. They wanted it to take years and years to get to that point with a small school. So, like, now that they have it, now, yes, could they? One thing I've noticed, and I don't necessarily care because that just means I got to get good at what's in front of me, but, like, in the old game, there was a difficulty setting on recruiting. This game, the recruiting's just the recruiting. So, maybe in the future, even if they just have 2 modes, like normal and easy, or, if some sicko wants to put it on hard, that's an option too, I guess.
Yeah. I find a lot of folks are finding like Heisman as being just this impossible challenge. But, if they do the 30-year thing, if you have the patience for like 10 or 15, you can actually build something pretty good about a decade. You just got to kind of take one to the chin a couple years and send the house at people. Like people think they got to bring in like 20, 25 recruits. It's a process, man.
No, you gotta. I think if you bring in like 10 good ones a year, you're doing pretty solid. Like Temple is a 2-8 team going into this game, and I'm going off like back-to-back 10-win seasons. And now, like the 4 stars are rolling in. I haven't gotten a 5-star yet, but I've gotten like 4 or 5 4 stars. So like I'm already seeing the difference. Where in the first year or two, like it was a big deal to get a 3-star to commit. So it's like I'm already noticing the difference. And yeah, people wanted the grind. Like I'm glad that it's 30 years and not 60 now. That is my one goal. I want the achievement of because NCAA 14, you could have a 60-year dynasty, and I never even attempted that. But 30 seems doable. I'm technically like halfway through it because I simmed so many years trying to get the Temple job.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about, like, you've already started your San Diego State dynasty on your channel, which is going really well. I'm really enjoying that series. What other things do you have planned, or are you just kind of riding that out and picking the other stuff later?
Other stuff later, but Road to Glory is for sure next because it'd be a lot of fun to kind of grind into a top guy. And you know, these type of modes totally like scratch the itch. So there's not really a lot of extra stuff. I'm like, oh, I have to play this and that. I figured at some point I'd go into Ultimate Team, and I'm sure maybe that'll happen, but I'm not feeling the overall need to do that. So Dynasty and Road to Glory may be it, to be quite honest.
I mean, that's mostly what I do too. When you do Road to Glory, what position are you leaning to? Are you going to do a quarterback, or what are you thinking?
Probably quarterback. Yeah, it's fun to kind of get that going. Running back is a lot of fun. I've probably had my best years in Superstar playing as a running back, but you can't go wrong with any of those two. Then obviously the future NCAA needs to have that. Yeah, every position, you know, and even kicker, you know, kicker people too. It'd be kind of fun to, you know, run a whole year in like, you could get that done in like an hour and a half, you know, just playing as kicker or punter or whatever. I mean, if it's a position on the field, they should have it.
I agree. I was reasonably surprised that there was no D line, but maybe just for some reason they needed more time to implement that. But no safety is really head scratching because like you have corner. How much different could it be?
Right. Yeah. I mean, some of these things that don't happen, it is really perplexing, but it makes you realize, like, even in 2-3 years, and there was rumors that they were contemplating delaying it one more year, but there was going to be anarchy around the country, you know. So, yeah, like, it's amazing how long it takes to put it all together. But it is a little frustrating that we had the NCAA game, and then you're hearing, oh, they went from scratch. And it's like, man, because it was so long, I think they had to do that. And just kind of, you can't jump from the beginning.
You can't jump 2 console generations. Like, if this was still happening on, like, the PS4, yeah, maybe they can use some of those assets. So that doesn't really surprise me much at all. Oh, I should have picked that. But like I said, my biggest takeaway for people that they need to realize is, at minimum, when they got the rights to do this game again, they signed a 3-year game deal. So at minimum, we're getting 2 more of these. So when you look at this game as a foundation and not a finished product, not that it's not, you know, somewhat of a finished product, but like this is not the end. This is the beginning of something. So I think people really need to remind. I don't know if they need to like write that down somewhere and like stick it on their bathroom mirror every day, but just like, you know, things are only going to go up from here, and this is a more than playable game already. So, oh,
wow,
Anthony Barr
stopped running.
The transfer from Vanderbilt with a big pick for the Knights. I've not seen that pick animation either. I don't think that throw happens a lot, where it's like, okay, we get to see it here. Oh, no, we don't.
Looks so much more natural. I kind of blew it there. My apologies, but
no worries.
Yeah, I'm going to blame the new animations for why I'm getting completely like boat raced right now.
So I just handed off there to R.J. Harvey. He's our 91 overall rated running back. He's the highest rated guy on our team. And I'm hoping, because UCF Fan Fest is in about 2 weeks, so I'm hoping to get his autograph on the... I got the pre-order with the football and the locker and the jersey. I'm going to bring the football and have a lot of these guys sign it, since they're the first, you know, official UCF players in a game like that. So that'll just be something else to add to the collection.
That is so cool. Dude, 91 overall has to be like top 10 in the country.
You would think, as far as running backs go, he's in like the 12 to 15 era, but 91 is more than respectable, I think, for him. And we have some high 80s wide receivers and stuff. I think they did us pretty decent justice. And like with KJ Jefferson, it's hard to know because he hasn't played for this team. So I think he's like an 86 or an 87, and I think that's fair because like you don't know how he's going to act in this offense. So I think they gave him based on like, you know, this is a guy that's played in the SEC. He's almost beaten Bama. He's gone into Gainesville and beaten Florida. So they probably based it off of just like his previous accomplishments and not what's ahead of him here in his final year.
I want to say that San Diego State's 72 defense, 73 offense is not realistic, but it kind of about is. You know, almost losing to an FCS team last year. The games we won was just hard to watch. And this is probably about right. 73 overall is first in the country, so that's fun.
I forget what our offense and defense are, but I believe our team as a whole is like an 86. So I think that's... Oh, and I missed the extra point there. But yeah, maybe, so that's fair, 86.
Right. I do notice we do have you beat at kicker and punter, though. So, you know, we take our wins where we can get it. And San Diego State's kind of turning into, for some reason, like a special teams factory. We got a guy signed, I think, with the Chiefs, Matt Ariza. He had an off-the-field drama.
Which we've covered at length on the podcast. You know?
Yeah, I mean, just brutal. It's like he's lost like $10 million, you know, with off-the-field stuff, and it's not anywhere near as bad as some Chiefs. Just throwing that out there.
That's true.
So, but yeah, we've got another guy who's getting looked at by NFL teams. So we're kind of turning into a bit of a kicker-punter factory around here. We're the LSU of special teams.
Yeah, prior to that, though, you guys are doing pretty good at running back with, like, Rashard Penny and then Dontel Pumphrey, who was actually on the Eagles Super Bowl team, believe it or not. So,
and actually, if you don't, for folks who can remember back in the day, Marshall Faulk, he was an Aztec too.
Yes, he actually. That's one of the random Ultimate Team cards I got when I opened a pack.
Nice. Come on. Ah, jeez. I mean, with the exception of our blocking, passing, running, and defense, we've actually been playing really good today.
You see an incompletion there.
Hey, I mean, you didn't make a lot of catches, but you made up for it by not tackling. So, you know.
That's right. All right. I mean, we just need Samuel Jackson. We're going to be just fine. Oh, my goodness. If we could just block a little bit, we got guys open downfield. Jeez.
So do you have an idea for your Road to Glory character? Because that's actually the stuff that I look forward to the most. Like, that's why I went with the Vince Howard character this year. Is it gonna be Santa Claus again, or just a hospital ball? Absolutely. But do you have any ideas for your Road to Glory quarterback? It is gonna be Santa Claus? Okay.
Santa Claus. I realized Santa Claus in Madden 11 was too small. 6'7", 260. That's not big enough.
Ooh.
Wow.
I don't think your line's big enough either. Anthony Barr coming through.
Yeah, it's a real shame I can't be offensive tackle on, a little blindside Michael Orr action for Santa Claus. But we'll probably take quarterback or running back. And I'd like to see kind of how all the storylines off the field go.
Yeah.
I do hear that, when you're studying for classes, you can kind of... they don't say you can cheat. They just say you can kind of observe how another student is answering the questions on the test.
One guy will text you. He texts you and he's like, hey, man, I found the answers to tomorrow's test. Do you want them? And then people invite you to parties on, like, the night before, like, a game or something. Like, so they get into it enough. They keep it pretty PG-13, but, like, there's enough there.
Yeah, hey, take these drugs. Probably not going to be suitable.
I don't think they're going that far.
Yeah, but that's a level of realism that man, we expect with Santa Claus to do at least some sort of cheating. That's probably an August challenge, but I'm hoping for folks that are we actually got the ball back. That's the big accomplishment today. But we're doing probably 2 years of that dynasty. I mean, you got to be able to, like, turn the thing around. Yeah. But I'm realizing the challenge that is there, and I'm excited to do Road to Glory stuff. I commend all the YouTubers that spend the time to do all these years. It is a major editing challenge.
Yes. That's the thing. Anything I do, like if I do a Road to Glory that's just on, YouTube here, I'm just going to do it like this. I'm going to do it live, raw, and unedited, because that's just what I have time to do.
And
maybe I do one, Bill O'Reilly style, man. Just do it live.
That's good.
I wouldn't mind doing, I'm doing Vince Howard now. I might go back and do, Voodoo Tatum, one of the villains from that show, and just do everything wrong, cheat on everything, go to every party, and just see how that works out for me.
I mean, it wouldn't be any different than how things typically are over there at with the Phil neck of the woods. But what's it called? Man, the level of realism. I like this. I like how they took a lot of time to just kind of make sure that the game feels right, looks right, and all that stuff. I don't know if college football players drop this many picks and miss this many tackles, but I like the fact that they made it different in that way. And you're seeing it in this game today.
We got our final play here. Let's see. To the end zone. And it's picked again.
Just fitting way to close the game.
Jabari Henderson closing the door on that one. All right, so that's game one of our doubleheader here. We're going to get into one more here in just a second. But, I think this is the difference of me playing a lot of games and Nick simming a lot of games. I think it's fair to say that may have been the difference here today.
Yikes. Our field goal kicking and our fake punting was on point today.
That was definitely your highlight there, that fake punt.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And we fittingly, I think, threw a pick on that drive anyways. So that was fun.
Real quick, while we're still going, I think you need to invite me to a game so you can be the home team, just to be safe. So
let's do it. Let's do it.
Just to be fair, because it brought us back out to the main screen. So I think it's easier if you, at the main menu, play a friend and send me an invite, and I think that's probably the easiest way to do that.
All right. Well, it's probably not the right thing to pick like an SEC school, but after that type of loss, that might be the challenge.
You pick whoever you want, bud.
All righty. Cool.
All right. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna grab a water here, so you send that invite, and I'll be ready for you. Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. All right, we're back and we're hydrated. So did it send, or I think I see it.
Good.
Nick. Okay, here we go. Join. That was easy. All right.
Yeah.
As much games as I play, I don't play a lot of online stuff. So the fact that this is pretty seamless, I'm pretty happy about.
Right. Yeah, pretty quick and everything.
All right, who should I be? You know what? I'm gonna be the Temple Owls from my Dynasty mode here. They're a 73 overall, so Nick can be whatever higher end team he wants, and that'll be fair based on the last game. So
that's right. I feel kind of something that people are gonna love to see.
Yeah, let's see a good match. I'll be Temple, but depending on who you pick, I might pick a matchup people want to see. So let's see. Let's see who you pick. The floor is yours.
Okay. They have random team, right? Okay, we're going to click random a couple times here.
Okay. UTSA. LSU.
There is no, it seems like there's no... Yeah, let me be Marshall.
Okay, then I'm going to be...
You could do Marshall against... USF.
Yeah, hell no. I'll do Temple because the overalls are basically the same, so that'll work.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
I like it.
Yeah,
Cool.
I just played that whole freshman year with Vince Howard as Marshall, and that's pretty cool. Nice looking stadium. One of those fan bases that just get it.
Just get it,
Just
you
because they're
know?
not making millions of dollars doesn't mean they don't go support their team. I've always enjoyed what Marshall brings to college football for sure.
Yeah, McConaughey, shouts out Texas all the time. I think it'd be cool if he also did that for Marshall,
I
That'd be
agree.
kind of a fun twist. Are we streaming this one too?
Yep, we're still live.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
Good
gotta
thing I
give
didn't
you.
say anything I actually mean during the break there. I'm just playing. All right. This has actually, I'm a little surprised because I guess I've never looked in depth at the Marshall Stadium. No offense to all those out there, but they've got a real nice stadium out here. In fact, I wonder if they have more seats than UCF. It looks close.
Yeah, I mean it's wider. You got to think though, they don't have that whole one end zone. You see how it's just like a building there. So
There
aside
we
from
go.
that, oh boy. I think if they had a full bowl like that, if it was closed, it'd be pretty close. I think they're probably in like the high 30s instead of the 45,000 that we have.
Yeah, they have a lot of
There you go.
the North Texas stadium looks so much like this. Obviously, the colors are the same. So,
Yeah. I just played them in a bowl game, so I did, so I just played them in the bowl game against Marshall, oddly enough. Oh boy,
oddly enough,
that screen caught.
okay. Here we go. We have a first down. Okay, we're cooking now, guys.
Do you realize who that
thinking-
quarterback is that you have there? That is none other than
No way.
Cole Pennington, Chad Pennington's son,
Yeah.
following in his
Right.
footsteps at Marshall. Oh,
Hey, I was thinking maybe we get 2 first downs on this drive, and we got it.
Yeah,
So
not a bad idea.
that's probably about it for Marshall's offense today. We'll see. Yeah, shout out to all the NFL guys from, Manning's kid to Pennington. Signing into the NIL stuff. It's kind of fun to see these guys play, and maybe a few of them actually make it to the NFL, do something. So, yeah,
one
cool stuff.
other thing I wouldn't mind, and I don't know why this would be an issue. I don't think this is like an NIL problem, but in the previous games, you could do a Road to Glory with like an existing player. So if somebody wanted to just do an Arch Manning Road to Glory, you can't currently. When you go to Road to Glory, you have to create a player. So that's something I wouldn't like for this year. I'm sure some people would have liked to do like a Shadur Sanders or an Arch Manning, or maybe just play as only their favorite player on their favorite team or something like that. So that's something I wouldn't mind seeing added later in future years.
Be fun. It is great, the tempting part of Ultimate Team was like being able to play Miami's Ray Lewis and stuff like that. So the ability to touch pass and like have the particular arm strength for it is such an amazing touch. It almost makes you wonder why Madden didn't implement that years ago until I guess you realize you look at the sales.
Oh,
are you kidding me?
You made it
wow.
though. Off and
I thought
in.
I missed to the right actually. So I guess they keep you on your toes with that one. Oh yeah, by the way, I did make this All-American, so I figured that'd be a little more fun on this edition.
Sure. Yeah.
So
now that we know that the stream was going to work and stuff, that's good.
Right, and because people need a little more entertainment, so I see you've been practicing a little bit since we last played, man. You're actually kind of.
I mean, I think you beat me in those.
On your own.
You beat me in those Madden games, but is that a fumble? No, just ball in the air. But like those games were close. I don't remember you like taking me to the woodshed or anything.
Oh no, it wasn't 28-7 either way, but it
True.
So yeah, I don't exactly appreciate you bringing on the channel to just kind of like destroy me like that. All right, but We'll take it. No,
I'll be honest. I didn't
it's
think
all
it was
fun.
gonna go. I didn't think it was gonna go that way. If I'm being honest. So
Man, it was that was embarrassing. But we're gonna blame that on little first game jitters or something like that. But either way, it's just so much fun to play, and a lot of guys are saying the same thing. It's like, it brings back the fun and the realism of it again. I do think some people, me and Phil are on the same Facebook EA25. All right, a little redemption. I
yeah, had
love
to
it.
do it. Had to do it.
Had to do it. Oh man. We're on the same Facebook chat thing, which is a lot of fun. Or Facebook page. Anyone can check it out. I'm sure there's other pages too, but this one there's a lot of guys. I feel that are going a little on, like, when you see any criticism, like IGN came out with a rating of the game, and any criticism, I feel they're taking a little too personally, and I think that goes to how people are just enjoying being able to play a game where there's a lot of detail to it, and it feels like personable, unlike before with the Madden stuff. So
I mean, the
but I
IGN
think,
rating, it was like a 7, and I personally do think
it's
that's
a
too
little
low.
harsh.
But that's how they get people to read that article, though. If it was an 8 and 8.5, the way like I view it, like I don't need to read that article because it'll just be like, oh, they agree with me, got it, and that's how that works.
Right.
But yeah, there's plenty of criticism on that Facebook group. There's plenty of people that are just having the time of their life, and I'd rather be, the latter. So like, is there things wrong with this game? Of course there is. I am 32 years old as of 2 weeks ago, and I have not played a perfect video game yet,
Happy birthday.
and that's going to continue. Appreciate that. And I have not played a perfect video game yet, so like I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. So I just got to enjoy the ones I do get to play.
I may sound like a boomer, get off my lawn type of thing, but I do think if these, and this might not even be possible, but if these guys took either, apparently this isn't possible for 14, but they tried with the revamp stuff. If you just take some of the retro Maddens or 2Ks, or All Pro Football or whatever, like those old games, and just improve on that, I think you can flirt with a perfect game, or a game that it's hard to complain or poke holes in.
Right.
But it feels like, for the sake of change, and obviously like for money to sell the features later on, but even if they didn't do that, for the sake of change, it's like, oh, we're gonna switch up the like in recruiting is my complaint about this game. It's like it was really close to perfect before, in my opinion, minus transfer portal, obviously, and now they changed it, and it's fine, it's good, it's a challenge, obviously, but I think it wasn't broke back then with Madden and NCAA, and I think that'd be my complaint. You can get closer to
here's
perfect.
my rebuttal to that with the recruiting. If they basically gave us the same recruiting system and then got the transfer portal to blend in there, those same people would complain that, like, really, like 11 years later and they just gave us the same thing again, like this is a reskin and yada yada. So like I get the different approach, and like it'll be fine-tuned and everything. It's not perfect by any means, like you said. I do feel, playing as a small program, direct snap there, it is hard to get these guys, and when you get a 4-star, it feels like a big deal. So like that's really the only thing I'm looking for. But the way to back to just the the perfect game conversation, like anyone that knows me knows I play like all Sonic games. I have a Nintendo Switch as well. I play all the Smash Bros and Mario Kart, and I was playing Legend of Zelda.
With the Smash Bros and Mario Kart and stuff. Yeah,
I was playing Legend of Zelda in the lead up to this because those are like longer games that take up time. I beat 2 Pokemon games this year in waiting for this game. When I get a new game, I only ask one question. I ask, is it fun? And if the answer is yes, I want to play it. It's that simple. Oh,
right,
no.
There we go.
There's some fun
Fitzpatrick.
for you.
Not to be mistaken with the old Fitzmagic. That's a 68-yard touchdown. We'll take it. Yeah, I feel you the same way on that. And shout out to the guys that the revamp. They did a marvelous job making the 14 game fun for all that time. I actually can't believe you didn't get to this. And, this is part of the patch. It's just a mistake. It happens. It's a glitch. But you're seeing teams that are going like 7-6 and are making it to the playoff. And then like 13-0 teams are like not ranked in the top 5. You're seeing that stuff a lot, or every now and then it happens.
Yeah. I mean, I
Hopefully the
haven't
Pats
seen
will
it.
address that.
I haven't seen it personally, but I've seen every once in a while, like a 5-win team makes a bowl game. I've seen like 4- and 3-win teams make bowl games. So that there's going to be little things with the logic and the 134 variables that are in this game with each team. Like you're going to see weird shit like that sometimes, I guess. So let's we talked the negative stuff earlier. What is your favorite thing about this game so far, though? Let's look at the positives now.
One thing we didn't talk and call it corny, but I like the visuals across the board. Just waiting to play now and seeing the helmets and the backup logos on the bottom is a lot of fun. The menu interface looks really cool. I'm sure in a patch maybe they can make it a little less... sometimes it takes a second to kind of get through certain menus, but in general, the aesthetics, and maybe because we've been numb to like the boring, bland backdrop in Madden games, but it's a lot more fun. I think I just interfered with your receiver.
You may have.
The
Yes,
look,
you did. Illegal
the look of it,
contact.
yikes. The look of it is a lot of, looks really nice. So it makes the game a lot of fun to go through.
I agree. I mean, visuals, there's not many. I know there's like a few mascots that didn't make it in for one reason or another. So, but like the teams that I've seen and the visuals that I've seen, like I don't think they could have done that much better. I mean, like there's certain teams that like the uniform selection could be a little wider. Like anything UCF is wearing currently is in this game, but like I would love to see some retro stuff. Fumble and okay, we kept it though. Good stuff. But that's one thing. Even DLC packs, like I would pay, $5 to $10 to get a UCF uniform pack of like anything they've ever worn. That would be pretty sweet. Stuff like that. You could get them individually for teams or pay a decent amount of money for everything. That's stuff I'd like to see in the future.
Yeah. There's always going to be that pay-to-play stuff. And, it's just part of it. And there's enough guys that love it. It's just not a thing for, I guess, people like us. But, shout out to those who love
I don't mind a
on
little
that
bit of that pay. Like, it shouldn't affect me playing the base game. If it's stuff like uniforms, like, I don't have to have them. It doesn't affect my ability to play the game without them. It's if you want them, you pay a little more. Like that's just life nowadays. Oh, what a wide open drop! You've heard the footsteps there.
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, I don't want to have to pay. Like to me, 2K is the worst on this. Where like I enjoy the my player mode, but like if my guy can't make a wide open shot unless I throw an extra $20 into my player when I start, like. We should be like 73, 74 overall players when we start, not 52 overall or 60 overall like we've been in past 2Ks. So as much as I enjoy that my player experience, like it's not when I do much anymore on 2K.
Yeah, as long as the base, like when you're talking about paying for uniforms, I'm hoping it's like custom uniforms. I'd hate to be like, oh, the retro Aztec uniforms I got to pay $5 for, but
no, I just mean like like 99-cent get the Dante Culpepper era UCF jersey or the Marshall Falk era, that sort of stuff.
Nice. The 85 Bears action down here, shutting it down on the goal line.
There you go. Yep.
Here we go, Marshall.
So this has been a much closer game, as we can see here so far, as we're getting into the halftime.
Shout out to Marshall.
Oh, no.
Shout out to Fitzpatrick, who I'm sure watched his fair share of Marshall Randy Moss highlights. Here
Coming off the edge, getting him. Oh no, it wasn't even that guy.
Going for it, man.
Might as well.
Might as well. Here we go.
They'll stay out there and go for it on 4th and goal from the 1.
Get in. Oh, no.
Here we go.
Good stuff.
Oh, man. I think you might have looped a little too much there. There we go. Shout out to Anderson.
Man. Just get in there. Extend the ball.
He's the one guy in college football 25 who actually made an open field tackle, I guess. Oh,
I guess he got out.
Yeah, we'll take nothing. We'll take 14-7. That works. Dang it.
I'm going to make you do it again, yeah. I thought I got you there for a minute. Now I think it's possible. Because he gets DDT'd at the 1 yard line.
Be a team player, man. Be a good... Okay.
He's looking to throw.
There you go. Now you're safe. Now we can run the time. Yep.
Yeah. Well, come on, man. Well, I'm down to the goal line here. Maybe you can stop me. Maybe you can make something happen. Let's go 97. Let's do it.
Oh.
There we go. Let's go 97, baby. Or let's go 7.
Yeah, so you have to settle for 7.
Yeah,
and that's the half here at Marshall. Much closer game than the last one.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And one other weird visual thing, I want to say 2K does this, but like fans walking out of their seat to go like grab a beverage.
Right.
Little random thing, but I see the stairs are always open. One thing I'm sure they could add in the next year or two, you know, a couple of random stuff like that. The crowd shots are strange.
I like that they're there. I think they do them too often, you know, because it's like the same, like three of them basically.
Oh, I ran an all-out blitz there. Might be good to go to the guy that has the ball. Whatever.
You didn't specify who they should blitz to, I guess.
That's right. Yeah, we got...
Man, I love getting that break at half to go talk with my coaches and pick my offensive coordinator's brain.
Oh, no.
Exactly what I need to do to attack this defense.
Starting to get the hang of it a little bit here.
Yeah.
But it's fun to say after a goal line stand, you get one more yard, and we got ourselves a tie game here. But let's see.
And he held on.
I find myself, I'm sure other players do too, every now and then, kind of expecting the guy to break the first tackle and prepping for the second one. But so far, so good. Shout out to Marshall. A respectable team, I guess. Of course, as I say that.
It took me a minute. I'll say the RPOs make a lot more sense in this game than any Madden I've played in the past couple of years.
Right, and we played 14, and the read option always worked. And here, it sometimes just doesn't work at all. They read you perfectly.
And, you know, with the read option, the controls are completely reversed of what they used to be. You hit X to pull the ball instead of holding X to hand the ball off. So that took a little getting used to, but now that I get it, I think I actually like this better.
Oh, shoot. Bit on the play fake.
Oh, no. Get down, kid. Oh, man. 3rd and 27.
Oh, man.
I had a guy open, too. That's the crazy part.
Maybe if you run that, yeah, I saw it. Maybe if you run that fake punt again, maybe that'll get you 27.
Maybe. Oh, I hit the wrong button.
You had a guy open again.
Yeah, I hit left bumper instead of right bumper. Right bumper was open down the seam. All right, I think I have to punt this one, though, Nick. What do you think?
Well, 27 would have been fine. 35, yeah. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Oh, for
the
brand. Let's go.
Oh, man. Pat McAfee played for West Virginia, so that was kind of like down the road, right?
Yeah, that would have been a rival, so he wanted to mess with them one more time and get him. Inside, okay.
We got ourselves a ball game, folks.
That may be my highlight of this game here. Yours was a fake punt in the first game. Mine is downing it at the 1.
Punters are people too, and and fullbacks acting as blockers. Those are people as well. So I guess question for you. Yeah. I think people also go a little too. They say this game is amazing. I'm not playing Madden. I got my fix. I still am excited for Madden. I think both things can be true. Are you excited for Madden, or are you going to play that as well?
I think that's two different answers. I am not excited for Madden. I do see myself playing it maybe on a Black Friday I'll get it for $20 or whatever, or wait till it drops. The main thing I'm going to do in Madden is when I complete these Road to Glory players, I do want to import them and play as them as Madden in Madden. That's what I'm looking forward to. So yes, I will play my fair share of Madden, but I am in no hurry to do so. I got way more to do on this.
Interesting. I might be a little more excited for Madden. I definitely am a little more excited for Madden. But I can say two things are true. Like, I'm excited for Madden, but I'm afraid that this might be the better, more polished, more detailed game than Madden. I don't think that's crazy to say.
I would be shocked if it wasn't, just based on the fact that those games are still suited for the previous generation and stuff, whereas this game doesn't have to deal with that. Laying the boomstick there.
There you go. Yeah, the hits are heavy. I haven't noticed that in a Madden game in a while, so that's fun.
Right, here we go. I've gotten the crowd pulse down about halfway because this game is close, so that's helped me operate a little better.
Yeah, the little squiggly lines. It should be more swiggly in college, but having a little of that in the NFL, it would be good.
See, that's the thing. You can't bring this fully to Madden because unless it's like a rookie quarterback, but like, how many places in the NFL is it really like hard to go play? Like Philly, Kansas City right now, sure, maybe Baltimore. I could probably name like 5 or 6, but like, it's non-existent
are debatable.
Yeah, like Pittsburgh at times, but not all the time, or at least not currently. So it really, like, when you go play at Carolina, right? Like this aspect is non-existent. He stayed in. You wouldn't see that in Madden. I'll say that right now. That dude would have been out of bounds, no doubt.
For sure. Man. 3:13 to go. All right. Zay Baines. Nice. Oh, yeah. That PAT is definitely not a gimme.
No, so that's why I waited to say tie game. Now we got a tie game.
Yeah. Right. Here we go, baby. Special teams.
You wanted a closer game. You got one.
Got it. Yeah.
Fielded in the end zone, it's Payne.
Oh, here we go again. Close.
So that running back, he was my running back when I did the freshman year Road to Glory. That Payne guy broke off a lot of good runs for me in my 1 year playing here.
I can see it. He seems to be quick and is a bigger guy, so he can kind of break a couple tackles here. Oh yeah, going for the ball might be a strategy.
Yeah.
Trying to catch it, that's an idea. Come on, buddy. That did look like, oh no, I won't go there. Come on. Maybe Chad Pennington is watching right now. I wouldn't say that throw looked a little like Pennington sometimes. I wouldn't say that. That's not nice.
Hey man, Pennington had some decent years. And especially at Marshall, man, that guy was a machine. I mean, granted, it's because of who he was throwing to, but in general, you still gotta respect it.
Yeah. Here we go. Come on, guys. Let's I'm starting to think going into game 2, the blocking might not be all San Diego State's problem. Oh man.
Oh, but he got it.
You guys covered that thing pretty good. I was you hold your own on the inside. Usually, guys get a little too anxious, but okay.
Yeah, we got a disciplined group here in Philly,
Yeah. One of the Philly teams, disciplined, right? Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Keep that one above the belt. All right. Oh, get it. Oh, sorry.
Oh man.
Okay. I did not have a good feeling about that, but somehow there was 2 open guys and only 1 corner, so he just managed to swat it down.
Right. Yeah. We got a guy, a Metcalf here
right
in the
by
slot.
my ear. Oh man.
Does he look like DK or does he look a little different? Maybe a little different.
I'll tell you one thing that's gonna take some getting used to as we're about to hit it here. The 2-minute warning in college football, man. I don't know that I'm gonna enjoy that. That's just not something that it's going to take forever to get used to. Like, go into games and stuff. I already have my plans for the first 2 UCF games this year. Like, a 2-minute warning in college football just seems gross to me.
Just gross.
Yeah, like there's no other word for it.
Interesting. Out of bounds.
Oh.
Okay, take that.
Running right into my coach, too. You see that?
You guys.
He's like,
Well,
whoa,
if
buddy.
you can't beat him, you might as well run into him, you know?
A big part of that is finding positive production.
Now watch
on
out.
first down.
Okay, here we go.
This is the close action that we wanted for the second game, so this worked out well.
Dialing up the pass play on
Close
first down, just
action
let
and something other than punting and kicking as
Yeah.
being the highlight of the day.
Now I'm really kicking myself for not just kicking the field goal at the end of the half there. Or imagine if I got
Right.
that safety, what a game this would be, too. You'd be really...
Really
it'd be a
dicey.
16-14 game right now.
Yeah. We'll take that clock running. Here we go. Okay. Peace. Three-man rush.
Oh.
Oh. That'll work. Okay.
Well, they've tried to get this quarterback going, running the ball in a variety
All right,
of
getting
ways.
dicey here, folks. Right here on the channel.
Just yet until that run right there. Nice individual effort on
Oh,
You know, I'm
man,
sure a
right
lot
where
of-
it was.
I'm sure a lot of folks, and it was, you know, it was tempting to a certain degree. Like, oh, should I go Penn State or Ohio State, you know, and kind of showcase that. But nobody's doing Marshall and Temple but us.
No,
We do Marshall around here.
that's what you come for.
Exactly.
Another chance to maybe continue to run the football.
And I feel like this guy, too, is just an explosive play waiting
Okay.
to happen. His vision, his quickness, and he's got a burst. If you give this guy just a
Okay,
crease,
let's
he's going to hit it. And right now, he's doing some damage on this defense.
any other game, and this is an automatic 3 points.
Right, yeah. That's why I'm just playing it as I should. One thing I've noticed that's not in this game is freezing the kicker, which I guess it's because kicking's hard enough.
So I don't mind maybe
Yeah.
taking some shots.
Yeah, that's enough of that. Here we go.
Oh.
Oh, man. And that was the worst possible area.
Yeah.
We got to kick at an angle here, and we're not going to go for it. That's
push this game into OT.
Here we go.
Oh, brutal.
Comes the field goal kicker in a huge spot.
Oh, that might be no good. Oh,
No, we got
close.
it.
We got it. Okay.
Like you said,
man.
not automatic by any means.
I think I could be a brain surgeon or something if I play this game long enough. The precision. Dude, man, I had less stress doing that that hospital game, you know, where you have to like pick the metal piece out of the body. And if you touch
Operation.
the metal part, operation, yeah, you get zapped. That was preparation for this moment right here.
Temple takes over and the Owls send the offense back onto the field. So the first order of
This is
business
big
here,
boy
David,
time, Phil.
not
Let's see
All
what
right.
you got.
35 seconds.
Don't
Here we
take the
go.
sack, don't get a negative play, but if
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, let's go. You
So
tried
much
me.
for that.
Yeah, a little too,
All right.
too much.
I've had really good luck with those out routes. I figured that was a good place to start. But yep, there's the ball game right there.
That's user, baby. So, you know, we go through that fun bit. I hope you guys learn a little more about college football, and we go tie. I like that.
Yeah, 1-1, and then we'll just have to
1-1.
hop on here again and do a rubber match here at some point.
And it's a great
I like it.
defensive
I
end.
like
The
it.
most athletic player
You
in
graded the game
Yes, you
8.5, right?
Yeah, I'll get anywhere from 8 to 8.5 on any game. Let's go right in the middle. I'll give it an 8.3.
Wow. Okay. I'll go 8. I'll go 8. I like it. Yeah, I'd hope. Part of why I don't quite, you know, I won't quite give it as much slack as it, you know, there's 130-something teams, of course, but they did have like 3 years of development to this game. So in some areas I was a little underwhelmed, but overall, having an 8, when I would give Madden's more often than not the last decade like a 5,
Yeah, 5 or
this game
6.
is awesome.
So I look at it this way too. Like, if before the game came out, if they said, "Hey, you're finally going to get this game back, and it's going to be an 8 out of 10," I'd be doing backflips, and that's where I'm at with this. So, but that's going to do it for us here today, guys. I get a win, and Nick gets a win. We'll hop back on our regular podcast here in the next coming weeks as football rolls around, and then we'll have to jump on here and do a rubber match to see who gets the crown this time around. So thanks everyone for listening. For myself and Nick, and we'll see you guys next time.